Seungho comforting Nakyum is raising my serotonin levels. I'm seriously crying right now because this chapter is so freaking wholesome. Look at where we started. Look at where we are. Okay, I'm gonna stop my Hamilton references now, but man, before we get started, I just want to remind our viewers that if you like seeing more yaoi content and would like to support this channel, please don't forget to smash that like button. Also, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Feel free to message me in my social media at ZEALED FUJOSHI, which I'll be using to interact with viewers about more yaoi content. If that's something that interests you, feel free to follow me at ZEALED FUJOSHI. Finally, this episode will contain explicit content and a lot of manhwa spoilers. With that in mind, please proceed with caution. You have been warned. Now, without further ado, let's jump into chapter 76 of Painter of the Night. So, to answer everyone's question whether Nakyum knows No-Name's face is if he didn't know it before, he definitely knows it now. If you read back in chapter 61, we know that Nakyum did see the jester mask and the purple clothes of his kidnapper. The same clothes that No-Name is currently wearing in chapter 76. But this time, No-Name's face is shown and someone called out his name, No-Name. So if Nakyum didn't know who his kidnapper was in chapter 61, he definitely knows who it is now. So, good luck, No-Name. But No-Name and Nakyum bumping to each other seems to be pure coincidence because one, No-Name seems to be busy with work with the other jesters in the streets, and number two, Nakyum was left all alone after they bumped into each other. No-Name didn't touch him, didn't talk to him, didn't send any kind of message. So I don't think that this was planned. But then again, No-Name isn't really that dumb, even though there's a lot of jokes about him being dumb. There is also a possibility that No-Name may be testing whether Nakyum remembers their deal, because I can't shake off the feeling that ever since Nakyum and Seungho started with this date, it seems like No-Name has been following Seungho and Nakyum throughout their date. So this might be No-Name testing the waters with Nakyum. Or maybe he's just helping Nakyum out to remind him that there are crazy people out there that wants Nakyum out of, Seungho's life. Anyway, or it could be just that Min wants to taste him. Whatever it is, Nakyum is still in danger. But before we get into these points, our poor Nakyum is seen on the floor having a full-blown panic attack in the middle of the streets. No-Name ran away from his jester duties, probably because he knows that Seungho is nearby. And in the perfect moment, just when Nakyum is in full panic mode, that, Seungho isn't far behind. And that's a good thing. And sadly though, Nakyum didn't recognize that the person grabbing him and helping him standing up was Seungho. He thought that it was still No-Name that's probably trying to drag him. And sadly, in the state of Nakyum's mind break, Nakyum utters the word that I didn't say anything, referring to the fact that Nakyum thinks that Seungho is still not aware that he was ordered to be kidnapped by Jiwa. But we all know that Seungho already knows this because stupid Min ratted on Jiwa. And, you know, Seung-ho confronted Jiwa about this and warned Jiwa not to do anything stupid anymore. And yet here Jiwa is again doing something stupid again. Anyway, when Seung-ho speaks, Na-kyum realizes that it wasn't No-name that was grabbing him, but it's his beloved Lord Seung-ho. And when Na-kyum realizes this, it's so freaking cute how he decided to hold on tight to Lord Seung-ho. And for Seung-ho's point of view, he gains new information that during the kidnapping, the person that did cause all of this mental trauma to Na-kyum is a jester. Maybe Seung-ho will find a way to find No-name, I don't know, but we'll find out in season 3. Anyway, now that we are brought back to No-name in the next couple of panels, No-name is shown watching Seung-ho and Na-kyum embrace from afar, meaning he hasn't really left the proximity, he's still nearby, and it seems like he's checking out the situation. And then Jiwa sneaks up on No-name and informs No-name that there is no more time, referring to Min's second plan, whatever it is. We still don't know the details of it, but it seems like they need to fasten their plan. I don't know if this is a plan between Jiwa and No-name, or is this a plan between Jiwa, No-name, and Min. We don't know that yet, and I'll get into that detail because one, this chapter confirms that Jiwa is stupidly agreeing to Min's plan for the second time. And Jiwa dragged No-name again into stupid Min's mess for a second damn time. Man, Jiwa is really one freaking dumb dude. And speaking of the devil Min, it looks like these three stooges were really not supposed to meet in this alleyway. And it seems that Min and Jiwa was out drinking. No-name was just working in the streets like he normally does. So the encounter with Na-kyum and Seung-ho is random. But after a couple of jokes aside about Jiwa and No-name sleeping together and Min having a good laugh about it, we find out a little bit more on where everyone stands on this kidnapping 2.0. Let's start with No-name. No-name doesn't want to be a part of the kidnapping 2.0 because he thinks that it's doomed to fail because it already failed once. This is what most of us can agree on. Even the listeners or the viewers can agree on the fact of how stupid is Min to think that this plan is going to work again. Seung-ho is on his highest guard ever. Na-kyum knows No-name's identity. Seung-ho knows that Jiwa was the person who hired the kidnapper on the first plan, and Seung-ho knows that Min is aware of all of this backstabbing. I'm still hoping that Seung-ho is partly thinking that Min might be a part of the whole kidnapping plan. That's why we were informed in the previous chapter that Seung-ho is not drinking with the other lords anymore, and they're not having those night parties anymore. I don't think it's a part of the fact that Seung-ho is being loyal to Na-kyum, but I also think that Seung-ho is analyzing who his enemies are, and I wouldn't be surprised if Min is in that list also. Min thinks that he and Seung-ho are on good terms, but I don't think so. I think Seung-ho is not that dumb and that Seung-ho is suspecting that Min might not be as good as he's presenting himself as, right? And then we'll go to Jiwa's point. My dear silly boy Jiwa. I was really hoping that Jiwa was smarter than this. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he was just really dumb in love with Seung-ho, you know? But, you know, he already did the right decision by letting Na-kyum go. So I don't understand why he's letting himself be dragged like a puppet by Min for a second time. Why does he still hang out with Min anyway? Why can't Jiwa behave like Seung-ho? Seung-ho currently drinks alone in his room or with his beloved Na-kyum. Why can't Jiwa just party with No-name in the streets and have their sweet date also on the street? And go have monkey sex in No-name's hut. But I feel like Jiwa and No-name might just get rid of Min in the next season, because it seems like Jiwa and No-name are both uncomfortable with Min's plan. So Min is the only loose cannon for them. Jiwa doesn't really want to be part of this plan anymore, and I don't understand why he is still being dragged by Min, since Seung-ho already knows that Jiwa was part of the original kidnapping. This does not make sense. So when Jiwa told No-name that they're running out of time, what plan are they talking about? Is it just Jiwa and No-name planning to betray Min, or is it No-name, Jiwa, and Min plan where they're gonna betray Seung-ho? We don't know yet, but I really think that it would be very beneficial for a lot of people if somebody just nipped Min out of the picture. Isn't he thinking that if Na-kyum gets kidnapped for a second time, he will be Seung-ho's primary suspect? Anyway, then we have Min, the scum of the earth, blackmailing son of a gun that, wants to get a taste of our poor baby Na-kyum by asking No-name to kidnap him for a second time. I really can't wrap my head around how Min is thinking, but then again, he's so full of himself. But I'm really hoping that No-name would just, kill Min, just so that Jiwa and No-name can finally be happy, and then no one can interfere with Seung-ho and Na-kyum's happiness anymore. One thing I did notice also in this chapter is No-name, that Jester has a heart for Jiwa. He is showing some concerns for Jiwa, and I think it goes beyond being nice or being a previous, contractor. I think that we will get these small moments of No-name and Jiwa from now on. And before Jiwa left, I didn't understand what No-name meant by ripping off every fingernail to Jiwa. Because these events, from the kidnapping to this current event, couldn't have been a year already. It's still snowing outside. So the kidnapping, if you go a couple of chapters back, around 60, during those events, it was winter already. There was snow on the ground. So in this current event, in chapter 76, there is still snow on the ground. So it could be weeks, or it could be a couple of months, but it cannot be more than a year. So my point is, we are shown that Jiwa still has nails on this chapter. So I don't understand this statement that if he was punished by ripping off every fingernail, like, it seems like he still has fingernails to me, or maybe I'm looking at this wrong. But if you can enlighten me about this punishment, I would really appreciate the feedback, because I think I'm missing something here. Anyway, back to Seungho and Nakyum. We have a continuation of all of their cuteness. Seungho buying water for Nakyum. I think most of people wouldn't understand why I'm pointing out on this small detail, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think water is not, I'm not saying that everywhere in the world water is free, but you know, it's such, I think we don't understand how important it is anymore, that back in the day, water like this has to be bought. It's like buying cocktails or sodas. It's not cheap, you know. So I do appreciate the fact that Seungho bought water for Nakyum in this scene. And then we get a cute close-up of how freaking cute Nakyum and Seungho's position is, while Seungho is trying his best to calm Nakyum down. Nakyum is like a baby being held by a teddy bear Seungho. But in reality though, it's Nakyum who's holding on to his teddy bear because he doesn't want to lose his handsome teddy bear. And then we get more cute moments like a vendor selling music boxes nearby, and Seungho noticing that Nakyum is looking like a cute little baby who just saw a toy he wants from the toy store. So Daddy Seungho has to spoil his cute little baby by buying Nakyum a music box. And as they listen to the music box, these two look so freaking adorable as they continue to hug each other while listening to the music box. It makes me wonder what kind of melody was playing in that music box while they embrace, but I feel like it's like a very solemn and very soft, very perfect for their touchy moment at that night. But I can't get over the fact that Seungho is babying the baby Nakyum. Stop! I'm gonna forget that Seungho is a total psycho for the past 60 chapter if the author is gonna keep showing me these kinds of crap. But man, I was not expecting this ending. We were ready for things to drop last week. But man, this season finale, man, I was really not expecting this. First of all, I didn't even know that it's gonna be a season finale. I thought that there would be more chapters. If I knew that this was gonna be the season finale, then we wouldn't have been thinking that, man, like, shit's about to drop last week. You know, like, we get a notification that apparently this is the season finale for season 2. And you know, there is still no word how long Byeonduck is gonna take from the series, but basing on how long other authors take whenever they're on a season break, I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be a couple of months. So, but we will definitely find out next week. But man, I'm probably guessing it's around 3 months. So hold on your big boy pants. This is gonna be a tougher wait than that 1 month of hiatus. And I don't think we're gonna get any specials in between. So this is really gonna be rough for a lot of us. But man, one thing I can say is the Seungho development in this past 6 chapters was definitely worth the wait of Byeonduck taking that month of a break. Man, I never expected that in the 70 chapters that I've been reading this series that I would find Seungho adorable. He shows love to Nakyum and even teases him. And man, I can't help but say, like, keep up the good work, Seungho. Never did I thought that I would call their relationship cute. Like, what the fuck is going on? But then we are at this point where they are so freaking adorable. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to follow my social media to be teased about some of the boys' love that I'm interested in. Feel free to leave me a message and converse with me in my Discord channel. I'd love to hear back from you. And please consider supporting the show by donating as little as 99 cents through www.sealedfujoshi.xyz. Also, don't forget to support the author. All the manhwa details can be found in the description below. Again, thank you so much and hope to see you next time.